Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hawk Girls and Hockey podcast. My name is Sarah. If you're new here, this is the show where we talk about all things hockey, the what you knows, the who knows, and everything in between. And today is going to be a recap of the off-campus series that came out last week on Amazon Prime. If you don't know what that is, I'll go into more of what that is when we get into the bulk of the episode. But before that, I do just want to do a playoffs update. So I waited to film this episode. I'm filming this on Tuesday, May 19th. So today is game 1 for the Western Conference Finals between Avalanche and Vegas. Hello, editing Sarah here. I knew that it was not that day, game 1. I knew that it was Wednesday. I don't know why I said this. I think I just got my days mixed up in my head. But yeah, no, it is not that day. So I will be repeatedly saying this, but know that I am incorrect. Okay, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the episode. So I wanted to wait and to see if there was going to be a game 7 for Buffalo and Montreal. And then they did end up going to game 7, and it was 2 days ago, I believe, either 2 days ago or yesterday. I can't remember. And I wanted to wait to see who would go on to the Eastern Conference Finals before I filmed this episode. So let's just first do a playoffs recap, but housekeeping, of course, we have to do the drink. It's actually just a Coke Zero because I was already drinking and I really didn't feel like opening up a new bottle of wine or opening up a seltzer. So grab a snack, grab a drink, grab whatever you want, and let's just get into it. Cheers. So, of course, with the changing of, or I guess not changing, but with what teams won the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, we have to change our board. So, like I mentioned, Colorado did win between them and Minnesota, so I did call that. So I got that guy. The one that I wasn't very happy about was between Vegas and Anaheim. Vegas did win, so I did not get that one correct. So I can go ahead and put Vegas Golden Knights. So they are battling it out for the Western Conference. And God help us all, please go Avs go. Because I don't want to see Vegas in the final. Sorry, not sorry to my Vegas fans. I have one of my girlfriends is a big Vegas fan, so sorry, Camille. And on the Eastern Conference side, I actually got both of them right. Montreal won between Montreal and Buffalo, and then between Carolina and Philadelphia. I'm sorry, Canes swept the Flyers, but Flyers put up a good fight. Same with Buffalo. I'm very happy with the two little underdog teams that we had going into the playoffs this year. Those being obviously Buffalo Sabres and the Philadelphia Flyers. Was very impressed and proud. Those were some very fun games to watch. Those guys, love them. Great teams. Would love to see them bring this kind of energy into the next season. And then maybe they can make playoffs again. Who knows? But yes, so that is our mini playoffs update. Like I mentioned at the very beginning, today, as I'm filming this, is game 1 of Vegas and Colorado's little battle for the Western Conference. So we'll see. Go Avs go. Go Canes go. I'm sad. I'm fucking sad. I've literally been loving this playoff run. It has been so entertaining for various reasons, but just the playing has been so good from certain teams. Other teams not so much, but all that being said, let's get into the meat and bones of today's episode. Now, I'm not going to do a full deep dive into every single episode because we would just be here for far too long. Also, I am filming a episode with the Hockey Princess podcast for her show, where we are going to, kind of just do what we normally do in the episodes that I'm in on her show, where we just, go back and forth, talk about different topics. So if I don't know when that one's coming out, but if it's out by the time this episode's out, I'll put a link to it in the description of the video version, as well as in the description on Spotify. And then also I'll, obviously promote it on TikTok and Instagram. So that will be a longer form of like my thoughts, but I did take notes while watching the show in my little pink notebook. And I also made a TikTok about, like, immediately after finishing episode 8. And I fear I'm not alone in any of the thoughts of any book fans that watch the show when I say that it was a great hockey romance show, but it was a terrible adaptation of its source material. And let's get into that. Okay, so everything kind of does start off almost the same, kind of. Like we saw in the trailers and stuff, Hannah like works at the like arena that the hockey team plays at. So her and Garrett have like met in like different capacities, I guess, because the show starts with Garrett being on the ice and then going to the showers, and then Hannah doing like whatever she does, like cleaning and stuff, restocking, and then she's cleaning up the locker room, and then she sees him in the shower naked, and we got to see, but love the butts. This Amazon Prime, the things you showed was crazy. Appendages that I did want to see, and appendages I could have gone without seeing. If you know, you know, and if you do know, did you also run out of the room screaming during that scene? Because I sure fucking did. Because I was not expecting to see so many, in the locker room. Enough said. I'm not going to elaborate anymore. So it starts off way different than the books start off, like just way different. Because the book starts literally when they're at like in class, getting their grades back for their philosophy class. So that stayed true to it, because then the scene after, or I guess the Hannah and Garrett scene after that one, is them in class. But before that, we do get to meet the rest of the guys. We have Tucker, Logan, and Dean De Laurentiis. Oh, I loved Dean. Oh my gosh. I already knew that I was going to love the guy who plays Dean just from the promo photos and the trailer. And I'm just like, oh my God. Love him. I think his name is Steven. I can't remember his last name, but he was like the perfect choice for Dean. All of them are really good. I do really love the casting in this show. I think they did a fantastic job. My favorites are obviously Dean and Allie's actor and actress. Also love Ella Bright playing Hannah. I love Belmont playing Garrett. I love everybody except for one character, which I'm not going to get into here because I'll probably talk about with Hockey Princess, but I'm not alone in the character that I'm not like a huge fan of, and it's not even an original character, if that gives any hints to who it is. But yes, so already, like I said, not off to a strong start with being super book accurate, and it kind of just, other than the scenes of them in class or working on philosophy stuff, they really just kind of took the book and said, this is just a foundation, but we're going to build different rooms on it, like a drunk Shakespeare room, like a campus block party room where Rummy Wolf is singing her songs. That's actually a pretty fun scene to watch, if I'm being honest. Also, the side note, but the music in the show, love it. Oh my gosh. I feel like it was very intentional to make the music very good, because Hannah's character is a musician. She's classically trained in the show, but in the books, I think she's like contemporary, if I'm being honest, or like modern. She's not classical. Whatever. Speaking of music, it makes sense that they changed Justin's character from a football player, which he was in the books, to a musician, because it would mean that they have more interactions, I guess. I'm sorry, I did not like Justin's character, which is so, like, if they had, okay, I'm not explaining this well. If they had just kept him as a football player, I still would have loved the casting, and I there's nothing against the actor. I think he did a fantastic job with what he was given, and the guy who plays him is so funny, and he has a really good voice, and he makes good music. But man, was Justin's character just, I don't know, I didn't fuck with it, if I'm being completely honest. Sorry, Hannah, I don't know what you saw in him, but yeah, so there's that. I also love different shots, especially in the first episode, of parallels between Hannah and Garrett's life, before they're being actively in each other's lives, just showing well, Garrett was doing this, Hannah was doing that. I really liked that. I liked a lot of the camera work and a lot of the scenes and the way that they shot them. I also was very, very shocked that the Bruins were able to be mentioned by name in the show, because they had to change the Boston Bears and the Montreal, oh my gosh, I don't even remember what the books version was for Heated Rivalry. They had to change them to like the Boston Raiders, and I think it was Montreal Metros. So then I think Montreal Voyagers was the book one. But either way, regardless, they had to change it for Heated Rivalry, and those teams don't even fucking exist. This team exists. So what gives, NHL? You just hate gay people? Actually, don't answer that. Anyway, all that to say, I was just very shocked that there was Boston Bruins mentioned. I said, huh? I thought they were going to create a fake team for this universe. But no, they mentioned by name, so they are canon. And does that mean every NHL team's canon? Does that mean the Sharks are canon in this universe? That'd be very cool if they are. And on a more serious topic, if you've read the books, you kind of know what, is the thing that Hannah is having issues with in her personal life. Same with Garrett and his family life. They're both going through very traumatic experiences. And I think that the way that they handle everything was fair. It was fair. Obviously, Hannah's experience that she had was in the past, before we had even seen her in the start of the series. And it's the way that it's kind of handled, where it really does stay between like the two parties, plus her family, obviously, that I liked. Also, changing the one aspect of Garrett's story from him mostly and his mom to just his mom was interesting choice. I can see why they would change it, just, I guess give Garrett kind of an arc to, he's afraid that his dad's anger issues are going to pass on to him, which is very apparent. At least that's what I got. Like, it was apparent to me that that's probably what the message was, that they were trying to, give to us when they were showing scenes of, flashbacks of Garrett when he was younger, punching the wall. You know what I mean? So with the serious topics, was very, very happy with how they handle everything, and they handle it very tastefully, I would say. Maybe if you have different opinions, definitely let me know. Just from being a book reader and knowing so much about what each of them experience, like, as characters, I thought it was done very tastefully. So moving on from a serious topic, we'll go back to, some light, fun, and free things. I was so shocked that we had Dean and Allie's story just plopped. I stopped taking notes once that happened. Like, I legitimately, like, I think I stopped after episode, let me look, after episode 5, I stopped, and, like, my last note literally just says Dean and Allie starting. It says episode 5, Dean and Allie starting. I didn't even put the name of the damn episode on there. Because I was just so fucking shocked. I had a feeling that they were just gonna, like, hint at Allie and Dean hooking up, just because of the scene, like, where Hannah and Allie are in the diner right before Thanksgiving, and Allie says she's going to Brooklyn, and then she said that she has to catch her bus, but then she gets into, like, a random car. I was like, that's Dean. But I thought they were only going to really show that and not anything else. So what if I thought you want to, like, wait to have a whole season to tell that story, because that's a really heavy story. The score, like, there, I have said it before, I've cried so hard reading that story. Which, oh my gosh, I don't even want to get into how many times they showed that character and knowing what happens. If you know, you know. And if you know, then, oh my gosh. And just, the character I'm talking about, they make him so likable, and I love him. And if they keep what happens to his character, like, canon in the show as it is in the books, I'm literally gonna break. Like, I will sob and cry and scream, just like the first time that I read the score. And then, you know, the knife twisted a little bit deeper when I read the gold. So, but yeah, absolute shock to see Dean and Allie's. I think probably they were maybe not too confident that they were going to get a season 2, and they knew that the two most popular couples from the off-campus series are Garrett and Hannah, and then Dean and Allie. Probably Dean and Allie a little bit more than Garrett and Hannah. So they maybe just wanted to put their story in, or at least the bulk of their story in, just in case they didn't get renewed for a season 2. But now they are, which just leads me to believe that season 2 will probably be, will definitely have Grace and Logan, because they cast an actress for Grace, and we know that they're starting filming, I think, next month in Vancouver. But then they'll probably continue Dean and Allie's story, and maybe also kind of start Tucker and Sabrina's. Maybe, I hope so. I loved Tucker. The Friendsgiving was so just funny. It's like the way that Tucker just kept panicking when more and more people showed up was just so fucking funny to me. But yeah, there's so much I could go on with the show. I am trying to keep most of my opinions for the episode that I'm filming tomorrow. So if you want to know more in depth what I think, definitely take a listen or go watch that episode of the Hockey Princess podcast that I'll be on, because I intend to go very deep with what I think, and I always do on that show. I'm never really afraid to speak my mind, so to say, because why not? Also, side note, I hope that you can't hear it too well, but I just realized that my gardeners are here, and they like to use leaf blowers to get all the olives off of my front porch, because I have a big olive tree in my front yard. So if you hear, or if you heard in the last, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, a leaf blower in the background, hopefully it's not super loud, and if you do hear it, I'm sorry. This is the only time I really have to film or record an episode, again, because I was waiting to see if there's gonna be game 7, and then game 7 happened, and I had to wait for and then I mean, no one made me wait, but I wanted to have all 4 teams. Like, I wanted to know all 4 teams before I recorded this episode. So, but yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's episode. I just wanted to do a little off-campus recap, as well as a little playoffs update. I'll know who wins, obviously, game 1 between Vegas and Colorado by the time I edit it. So, editing Sarah, if you want to put it up here. Swag. Love it. But yeah. thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode. If you're watching the video version on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It does help out a lot. If you're listening to this on Spotify, please make sure to give the show a good rating. You can also leave comments on episodes over there. You guys can also go follow the show's Instagram page. I've been getting a lot of follows from people on my Instagram page for the show, and I don't know where you all came from, and I'm kind of scared because you all kind of showed up at once, and I'm kind of terrified. But thanks for following me. I do appreciate it. You can also follow the show's TikTok page. Did I even give the Instagram handle for my page? It's at Hot Girls Learn Hockey, and then TikTok is at HGLH Pod. Boy, am I thrown off balance by my gardeners being here. Holy shit. Okay. Now I'm going to go edit this episode and wait for game 1 to start. So thank you guys for tuning in again. I love you so much, and I'll see you next one. Bye.